Jai Shri Ram. If someone were to ask you why you play Scrabble, here are some suggestions you can tell them. Well, Scrabble helps me learn words, enhance my vocabulary, and so that I can become a powerful communicator. Okay? Because almost all knowledge is linguistic. Almost all knowledge is linguistic. That means every word that you know enhances your knowledge. Vocabulary. More vocabulary means more knowledge means more power means more influence means more success, and more success means more money, and more money means more freedom. Therefore, vocabulary is equal to freedom. How's that? And I also enjoy learning words which have absolutely no outside utility. There are so many words to win at Scrabble you have to learn which have no absolute outside utility. So you'll have to cram your head with a lot of words. Well, it's all right because the human brain has an infinite capacity for memory. Yeah? Some postulated that it is about 4 terabytes, which means how much is a terabyte? So 4 terabytes, and each terabyte is, I think, 1024 gigabytes, and each gigabyte is, I think, about a billion billion bytes. Actually, each neuron is connected with thousands of other neurons, and the connections between neurons are in excess of several thousands. And when there is new learning, new junctions or synapses are opened up, and the gray matter actually increases, which means your brain keeps growing if you are learning. Okay. Anyway, assuming that each neuron has at least one byte or whatever, the number is something impossible to calculate. Anyway, they said it's 4 terabytes. I'm happy with that. Don't you think so? We are not even using 1 trillionth part of that, and because the RAM is choked with all nonsense and stupid movie songs and Bollywood, and no intellectual culture, only raunch culture. People discuss food, movies, sex, booze, travel, clothes, fashion, makeup, girls, boys, and crap. There's no intellectual culture. So your brain, your RAM is already choked. It's a very small RAM with which you are operating. When the ROM is already 4 terabytes according to these estimates, which I think is wrong because it must be much, much more than that. In short, our brain is like an infinite rubber band with an infinite capacity for learning. It can expand. If you go on learning inch by inch, life is a cinch. Yard by yard, life is hard. So if you go on learning, you will have absolutely no idea how much you can learn. So you can cram virtually all the libraries in the world in your brain. And well, I'm seriously doing that only. So it's an interesting thing, isn't it? You are a living miracle. Please understand that. Don't ever think that you cannot learn so much. You can learn anything and everything. So Scrabble helps me learn vocabulary, communicate better, and I already gave you the equation. More vocabulary, V is equal to K. K means knowledge. K is equal to P means power. P is equal to S means success. Success is equal to M means money, and M is equal to F means freedom. After all, all that we do in our lives, all the qualifications that we acquire and the skills that we develop and blah blah blah, even when you pray to God, why are you praying? Because you want freedom. Moksha means freedom, the ultimate freedom. So okay, I gave you a lot of philosophy. Now let's quickly get down to some serious. Of course, the other thing was also serious. I have a strong competitive spirit, and Scrabble helps me unleash all that energy. Okay. Scrabble can never be mastered. I can play all my life, and still not master it, and I love it because of that. There's no such thing as finality, and I love the adrenaline rush just before I manage to get a bingo. Scrabble is a perfect combination of skill and strategy, and you can meet interesting people. Really good Scrabble players are very interesting people, very knowledgeable. So meeting them is a pleasure in its own. It's an intellectual pleasure. Uh, and being a word freak, I love vocabulary. I am a verbivore. You might be a carnivore. I devour dictionaries. Okay. I stretch myself cognitively and creatively. And Scrabble is me, Scrabble is me, Scrabble is me. And I'm writing some haikus also, Scrabble poetry too. It's probably the most intelligent, beautiful, complex, intellectually entertaining, fun game. And I love matching wits, pitting my wits against other intelligent people, and that's how I can hone and whet my skills and appetite for words and vocabulary. And Scrabble uses a variety of mental functions, mind you, much more than chess. Hmm? Of course, in Scrabble there is a 15% chance that chance is involved or luck is involved, and that's why on a bad day a world champion could lose to a novice. That's also possible. Okay, so it's open. It's always open. I love memorizing words because I am a mnemonicist. I have memorized many things: verbal pegging, chain linking, method of loci. Uh, so there are many memory techniques I have already learnt and I have taught many people, mainly school kids. So it gives me work. Scrabble, enables me to apply these memory techniques. Okay, so combination of many intellectual, cognitive skills, memory, spatial awareness, creativity, even math is involved, linguistics, psychology too. You have to study your opponent. And all these skills are combined in a way no other game does. Okay, it's intellectually, aesthetically pleasurable. My love of language obviously is another thing, and hammering order out of chaos. Hammering order out of chaos. The chaos theory, butterfly effects. There are so many butterfly effects. All of a sudden, you soon to be, if you might be losing by a big margin, but you never know. You can whomp the hell out of the other fellow. What do you call that? I think it's a blow back or whatever. Blow hard, whatever. Blow out, I think that's the right word. Blow out. That means you beat your opponent with a huge margin. Game theory is also involved, okay? And Scrabble helps me to de-stress. You can sail through bad times in life. It's so absorbing, you see. And it helps you build new friendships, like I already said. And there's a great level of camaraderie in Scrabble communities. And dealing with puzzles, unscrambling words is so cool. Obsession. I have an obsession for vocabulary. And I also love those gaffes that we all uh, do, uh, all those blunders. Mm. So it's strange that we don't have Scrabble communities here, especially in Hyderabad. It's very strange. There is hardly any intellectual culture. By evening, buggers are lining up outside liquor shops, drinking, getting drunk, and fighting and eating a lot of disgusting stuff. All those thuk biryanis and all that rubbish. Scrabble also helps me to travel, to play people, tournaments, games to different places. Uh, and what else? I think I've said all that can be said. Probably you can add a few more things. So Scrabble is probably the best game you can teach your kid, and it'll help him not get into silly video game activities which are brain numbing actually. Scrabble can help him win too, because there are big tournaments. Of course, the prize money is not as heavy as in tennis or other big games, but it's all right. I'm sure over the years it's going to improve. There is money to be won, friends to be made, learning and personality development and self-actualization, and learning what it takes to be a high achiever. I think Scrabble players are all, they have this high achiever mentality. What are the traits of a high achiever? Do some reading if you want, or you can listen to my video. Traits of a high achiever. Jai Shri Ram.